This is the Apple eMac, an objectively charming computer that Apple sold from 2002 to 2005, specifically to the education market at first, and then eventually they offered it to the low-end consumer market. This video is not meant to go over too much about the eMac. I'm mainly making this video to document how to add Bluetooth to this thing. I couldn't find any other videos of anyone really putting Bluetooth in the eMac, and most sources you find online suggest it's just using a USB dongle, which you totally could. This particular model is the 2004 revision with 1.25 gigahertz G4 with the USB 2.0. So it's the latter two models where they offered Bluetooth as a build-to-order option, but because these were mainly sold to schools, there's not a whole lot of eMacs that actually have Bluetooth in them out in the wild, at least from my experience. So I wanted to talk about how to get Bluetooth in this particular model. I should mention that this only applies to the 2004 and 2005 models. These are the only ones that have the special little slot to put Bluetooth. So the challenge was finding information on how to actually put Bluetooth in this thing. I did find the service manual that tells you exactly how to put it in, and it gives you part numbers for the Bluetooth board and the antenna, which are the two parts that you need. But I wasn't able to really find much with those part numbers. What seems to be more important are the model numbers of these parts. So that particular iMac, that's a Intel, or what is it, a 2006 Intel iMac. I recently had to gut it, and it's actually an external monitor now. I can make a separate video about that if you want, but it happens to use this Bluetooth chip here. This is model A1115, if you can't see that. And if you notice, looking at the service manual, it seems to use the same kind of connector. Looks like it's almost exactly the same and almost exactly the same size. The only difference is the antenna connectors on the other side, but that shouldn't matter very much at all. The only other difference is this Bluetooth chip provides Bluetooth 2.0, and the officially offered options for the eMac was Bluetooth 1.1. But I'm assuming because it's the same interface and because I'll be running the latest software, it should work. And plus, I did some research. There were some PowerBook G4s that had Bluetooth 2.0 in them. So there should be software support. And plus, this part is from 2005. So that's only a year after this particular computer was made. So if you're watching this video, this should work with the research I've done. So the other part of the puzzle was the antenna, because unlike the Wi-Fi or airport, as Apple called it, the computer does not have an internal Bluetooth antenna, so you have to kind of supply one. Again, they have a part number for the official one, but I couldn't actually find it anywhere online to buy. But fortunately, it doesn't really matter all that much. You can really use just about any kind of antenna because it uses this sort of, see if that'll focus there. I hate this camera. It uses this sort of standard connector. Yeah, I can't get that to focus. Oh, wait, is it there? Oh, wait. Yeah, that's not going to focus. Well, it uses a very standard little connector. I'll put the model or the type on screen when I edit this. But so you could really use like any solution, like one of these doodads here, where you can use that little connector. Oh, that'll focus. And then on the other end, it has one of these screw things where you can screw on an antenna. So, but I don't really think you have to go too in depth with it, because you can see that whatever solution they were offering here wasn't really all that special. So what I have here is, this is an antenna that I pulled from that old Airport Extreme. It's one of Apple's old routers that they made. And you can see here, you know, official Apple part, 2007. It seems to be just the right amount of length that I need to run from, show you here. So yeah, it's just going from a connector there down to the front of the case there. So this should work just fine. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started upgrading this thing. All right, we've got the eMac face down on a soft cloth here. I should mention that it can be pretty dangerous working inside of an eMac, because once you take the case off, a lot of the CRT circuitry is exposed and you don't want to touch any of that. So be very careful if you do choose to work inside of the eMac. If you are not confident or don't know what you're doing, then you should probably get an expert to help you with this. So this video is just for, again, documentation purposes only. So to get inside the eMac, you've got to remove a Phillips screw there, 2 Phillips screws here, and then there's several of these 2.5 millimeter hex screws that go all around the perimeter of the system. So once you have those out, you should be able to, well, you'll want to, once you undo this screw, you'll of course take this panel off. That'll expose the RAM. You don't exactly have to remove the RAM right away. So you set this aside, remove these screws, and then you'll be able to lift it up, but then you have to be mindful of the power cable. Power button for the button cable for the power button is what you want to be mindful of. So you want to just lift it up slightly, locate the connector, pull it out, and then you'll be able to take the rest of the case off. All right, so now that we have the plastic back off, you can see that a lot of the computer is exposed. Take note of this little divider here. It pretty much divides the high voltage analog side with the motherboard and more computery side on this side. So we're not doing anything over here, and I'm not going to go through discharging the CRT or anything like that. Yeah, you can tell there's still some high voltages roaming around this side. So we're not going to touch any of that. All of our attention is going to be on this side. So what we're doing next is we need to remove this Faraday plate thing here. And we just have several screws to take out. Let's see, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. I think that's all of them. Once you get the screws out, you also have to kind of lift up on these little metal tabs here, and then once you do all of that, you should be able to get the plate off. All right, so now that we've got the Faraday plate off, let's take a good look at what we're doing here. So this is the place where we're going to put the Bluetooth module, and there is a little hole here that's meant for the antenna to go through, and then down here is where we're going to put our antenna. So I'm actually going to start with the antenna first. I've already got it prepped with some double-sided tape. So what I'm going to do is just kind of press it here somewhere, similar to how the service manual showed it, route the cable up, and then I'll work on putting the card in. And I think that'll be easier. I think it's easier to connect the antenna to the card before you plug that in. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is how I've installed the antenna. It's in there really, really good with some double-sided tape. And then I've gone ahead and attached the antenna to the Bluetooth chip. So all we've got to do now is secure it to the rest of the board. So I'm going to try to do this one-handed so you can actually see how it goes in. But basically you can see, you can see the two parts that have to get real personal with each other. So I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Let's see here. I want to keep the camera on it. It's hard to do that. There we go. And then see, it kind of snaps into place there. All right. So there we go. So that's the Bluetooth chip in there. So there are two screw posts, one there and one there. I want to screw those in. So I was going to use the same screws that I took out of the eMac, but there's some weird, it's a hex bit that I don't have access to right now. So instead, I'm using the screws that I took out of the Airport Extreme. This thing does not like to focus. But anyway, it probably doesn't really matter. As long as you have the thing secured in, it should be just fine. And then, you know, you can deal with the extra slack the best you can. Just kind of make sure it's out the way, or the extra slack of the antenna there. And yeah, so let me go ahead and put those screws in. All right, so correction. The screws that I took from the eMac and the screws from the Airport Extreme, they don't fit these posts exactly. So what I did was I borrowed a screw from the nearby modem card that I'm like never ever going to use, and I've stuck it right there in the corner next to where the actual connector is. And these things are in their sockets very well, so one screw should be enough to really hold it in place, you know, because this computer shouldn't be rattling around all over the place anyway. So there you go, that completes the installation. Kind of put the antenna cable, try to get it out of the way as much as possible. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and button it back up and test it out. Okay, so we've got the eMac all put back together, got a keyboard and mouse ready, and just to show you that's all that's plugged in is the keyboard and mouse. Nothing in that USB there, and no other trickery going on. All right, so let's go ahead and power it on. Okay, so while it's booting up, I guess I can talk about what's on the computer. I upgraded the hard drive to a 500 gigabyte hard drive. And I know I could have put an SSD in it, but this old computer, I think the hard drive will be fine for now. And please forgive me for the rolling bars. Not much I can do about it right now, since I can't control the shutter speed on this camera. It's running Mac OS 10 Leopard, the latest version. I think I might have said that before. Oh yeah, so if the Bluetooth shows up like it should, I'm gonna be testing out this Magic Keyboard, as Apple calls it. It's Bluetooth, charges with a lightning port. You can also use it over USB with a lightning to USB cable, but it's wireless, so we're going to use that. Okay, so I turned the resolution down to try to get the least amount of wavy bar effect from the CRT as we could. So we can already see that we have a little Bluetooth icon at the top, so that's a good sign. We go here. All right, so what I'm gonna do, let me turn on the keyboard here. Try to do this one-handed. Okay, set that aside, and we'll click here. Keyboard. All right, so I already found my keyboard. Continue. Okay, I gotta do the pairing thing. So this keyboard lets you pair with your Mac by just plugging in the USB, but this computer is too old to know how to do that, so you have to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, congratulations. Quit. All right, you can see we've got Magic Keyboard there, and so what I'm going to do now, well, actually, let me open up a text editor. And how do I make it bigger? I forgot how you do that with this one. Anyway, do some typing. Okay, you can see we're typing with the keyboard. So let me go ahead and unplug that just to make sure. Oops. Just, oh, sorry, one-handed. All right, so yeah, you can see it's typing just fine. So let me test the range a bit. Let me just kind of back up into my hallway. And what did I press to make it go boop? Yeah, that button. Okay, so I'm all the way in my hallway now, and you can see it's still working. Okay, so there you go. That's the whole point of it, just to make sure we have working Bluetooth, and plus that antenna was kind of dinky, so I was kind of worried about the range on it. So there you have it, adding Bluetooth to the eMac. I hope this video helps someone that might be curious on how to do that with this machine. Thanks for watching.